Greetings, Admirals. This is the Sarcasm Detector coming to you from the bridge of my brand new Krenim Annorax Science Dreadnought, Tier 6. Big thanks to loyal subscriber Astro Zombie for helping me procure this ship, which I will now proceed to show off in this very video. What you are looking at right now is the bridge of the Science Dreadnought, which is the exact same bridge that comes with the Krenim Imperium warship. So not much new here. As typical of all the factionless ships, they only come with one room. So here is the ship in all her glory, accompanied by a couple of the elite Krenim heavy raider pets that come with this ship. Just going to take a quick tour around the ship to give you a good look from all the angles, plus a look at the frigate pets themselves. A little bit later on in this video, we will be trying on all the different shield visuals just to see how much difference they make in the ship's looks. But first, we're going to take a look at a couple of the builds that I have set up on this ship, along with the stats and the gear. Let's take a closer look at the ship. Starting off with the Masteries, this is a science ship, so it comes with the standard allotment of science ship masteries, not the carrier masteries nor the dreadnought masteries. Starting off with exotic damage boost, a boost to shield hit points, a boost to hull and shield healing, and finally some shield regeneration. And we have the trait mastery that comes with the ship, which is plus 10% all damage for 15 seconds whenever you use a science officer ability. Now this stacks 3 times for a total of 30% all damage. However, this is probably bugged as it's only showing up as a category 1 buff. Normally anything that says all damage is a category 2. This one, unfortunately, is only a category 1, so I would say that this is basically a very mediocre or below mediocre trait. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a few minutes. The ship stats, 1500 crew, and for this build variant I am running at 23.8 power transfer rate per second, almost 74k hull, and 18.8k shield facing. The typical resistances that you would see on a science ship. Critical severity is a little low, but that doesn't really affect the ship too much. Over here you can see 10.2, this is with it standing still. At full impulse it goes up to about 16, so this is not a very maneuverable ship, unfortunately. Over here you can see I am running a full set of damage 3 pens at epic quality. The Iconian 3-piece with the deflector array, impulse engine, and shield. My standard warp core, which is from the Spire, Elite Fleet Plasma integrated warp core taken to epic. And here I have my inhibiting secondary deflector. This is just temporary until we can get the tier 3 secondary deflectors from the Krenim holding. That's going to take a little bit of time, but for now this will do just fine. As you can see, it's got particle gens, sensor analysis damage, and a little bit of flow caps. Red matter capacitor, armor catalyst, and an energy amplifier. I might actually drop the red matter capacitor for a boost to exotic particle damage. Conductive RCS with EPS, plasmonic leech, and here is the exotic particle field exciter, also with EPS. 4 particle gen embassy consoles and 4 locators. Here are the elite Krenim heavy raiders. Fairly interesting surgical strike, high yield 3, viable matrix, aceton beam. I did just one ISA run before I started recording this video, and they were doing about 4 or 5k each. That's DPS. It wasn't the best run out there. The ship only managed to get about 88k DPS. I didn't get a GDF. I wasn't able to release my fleet support, so it can do a little bit better. I believe it should be able to hit 100k DPS and more, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I'm going to show you my traits: ablative shell, beam barrage, coalition starship tactics, elusive for a little bit extra defense, fluidic cocoon, inspirational leader, intense focus, particle manipulator because this is a particle gen build, and point blank shot. Starship traits, I have all hands on deck, emergency weapon cycle, reciprocity, and improved pedal to the metal. Improved pedal to the metal is giving me a 2% all damage boost, and it stacks 10 times for a total of 20%, which makes it a lot better to run than time to kill. Unfortunately, like I said, this is a category 1 boost only, so even at 3 stacks plus 30%, it's only returning about 6 or 7%. It's very unfortunate. I hope this is a bug and will get fixed in the future. If not, then it's not really worth it. There are better traits out there. Space rep traits, crit severity, crit chance, armor pen, and the old stalwart Nukara auxiliary power configuration offensive. Let's take a look at the stations. Like a lot of some of the newer ships that have come out, like the Arbiter and the Zol Heavy Cruiser, it is possible to run 2 Lieutenant Commander tacticals on a non-tactical ship. So I'm using that to full effect here. FA 3, Chemosite 2, TAC Team, and here are Override Subsystem Safeties 3, a Beta, and a FA 1 in case I miss a Reciprocity proc. 2 copies of Emergency Powered Weapons, 2 and 1. Engineering Team, always very important when you're fighting the Heralds. And here's the cream. Tractor Beam Repulsors 3, Subspace Vortex 3, Has Emitters, and Science Team. Quick look at my roster here. Space Warfare Specialist, this one is the variable. You can switch it up, so if you're fighting Tholians, for example. Agent Rule for healing while beta is up. 2 maintenance engineers to reduce the cooldown of engineering team. Gragamal to turn the tractor beam repulsors into a pull. And a quartermaster to help reduce the cooldowns of these devices here. So this is just one of the variants I am running. This is, I would say, more of the DPS focused variant. I do have another variant that I'm also running. Not too much different, just a couple of things. So what has changed here? Basically, switching to a flow cap build. And I replaced the Exciter console with the Temporal Shield Matrix from the Zal Heavy Cruiser for a little bit extra shield capacity and regen. This also has a very nice proc. When I trigger it, I get all 100% damage resistance, immunity to Chronoton weapons, which is a little bit useless, immunity to movement impairing control effects, and a debuff to any attacker. On top of that, it's got a very pretty light show. Let's quick look at the resistances that I get. It lasts for 20 seconds, so it's pretty good. For traits, the only thing that changes is I switched the particle manipulator down to pattern recognition. It didn't allow me to change them here because on this map, no traits can be changed. And DOF-wise, I switched Gragamal to a gravimetric scientist with gravity well. Everything here stays the same. For the science seat, it's a little bit different, running polarized hull, hazard emitters 2, science team 3, and a gravity well 3. So this build is more of a tanky build. It does have the grav well there just to bunch things up, makes it a little bit easier to kill. Because it is a flow cap build, you could probably go with a Tychon's Rift 3 in that spot instead, and it'll work even better than the gravity well. Of course, once I unlock the 5th slot here under Starship Traits, it's still a while away, but I can fit greedy emitters in that spot for a lot more power. Next up, we're going to take a look at some of the different shield visuals available. Starting off with the Aegis set. The Iconian Resistance Shield. The Delta Alliance Shield. The Nukara Crystalline Shield. The Riemann Prototype. The Breen Shield. The Dyson Regenerative Shield. The Jem'Hadar Shield. The Counter Command Shield. The Mako Resilience Shield. Next up, I'm going to take the ship into a couple PvE queues to see how she performs. Krenim Annorax Science Dreadnought Tier 6, everyone. So what you just saw was two runs. The first was a high-powered run with a few guys from the DPS After Dark community, and I was running my DPS build. It was a little bit of a laggy CCA run, but the ship performed quite well. I managed to get second place. I will include the parse in the notes of the video for that. The second run was a little bit ironic. I took my tanky build into a pug ISA. That would be the flow caps build that I'm running, and I actually managed to get over 100k DPS in a pug run. And I will also include the parse for that in the notes for this video. So overall, what do I think of this ship? It is very versatile, very hardy, and can hit really hard. It is the first science ship that we have gotten since Delta Rising was released. And really, it is the first science ship, factionless science ships that we have gotten since the Palisade was released in Season 8. So it's been a long time coming, and I guess the wait was worth it. Very good ship. I give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. The only negative point I can see in this ship is its mediocre trait. Other than that, it is a fantastic ship and highly recommended if you can afford it, which I can't. Thanks again to a very loyal subscriber, Astro Zombie, for helping me get this ship. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe, and perhaps show it to all your friends as well. Have yourselves a good day.